OIC stand for Organization of Islamic Conference. But initially, when it was established in 1969, it was called Organization of Islamic Cooperation, OIC. That is thought the collective voice of the Muslim world, and its mission is to safeguard and protect the interests of the Muslim world in the spirit of promoting international peace and harmony. Safeguard and protect the interests of the Muslim world. Its context is that once there was Ottoman Empire, आजकल तो काफी ऑटोमन एम्पायर का जो टर्किश ड्रामेज हैं उनके जरिए काफी हवाला जो है वो लोगों को पता चल रहा है। खास तौर पर जो ऑटोमन एम्पायर के फाउंडिंग फादर उस्मान का, इससे पहले ऑटोमन एम्पायर के मेरे ख्याल में तो सबसे बड़े बादशाह, सबसे बड़े सुल्तान सुलेमान के नाम से भी मेरा सुल्तान ड्रामा जो है वो बनाया गया था। तो ये हम भी अब काफी जो है इसको बेशक एक फिक्शन के तरीके से ही एक ड्रामेटिक फॉर्म में उससे बाखबर हो रहे हैं, लेकिन हमें पता चल रहा है कि ये क्या जो है पार्ट थी। ऑटोमन एम्पायर के मुस्लिम इंटरेस्ट को प्रोटेक्ट करने के हवाले से जिस किंग की बहुत ज्यादा कंट्रीब्यूशंस हैं, डेफिनेटली दैट्स सुल्तान अब्दुल हमीद। तो सुल्तान अब्दुल हमीद एक एग्जांपल है। ओवरऑल ऑटोमन एम्पायर यूज्ड टू सेफगार्ड द मुस्लिम्स इंटरेस्ट। लेकिन फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर के खत्म होने के बाद ऑटोमन एम्पायर shattered into pieces and it gave birth to a nationalist Turkey. It could not hold its control over sacred Islamic point like Holy Kaaba of Makkah and Roza Rasul in Medina and Jerusalem in Palestine. Fall and fail of Ottoman Empire created a sense of insecurity in Muslims, and they started thinking about any pan-Islamic organization. इन कोई ऐसी ऑर्गेनाइजेशन हो जो पैन इस्लामिस्ट हो। कई ऐसे जो हैं वो इंटेलेक्चुअल सामने आए, जैसे जमालुद्दीन अफगानी हैं, अल्लामा इकबाल हैं, रशीद रजा और शेख मोहम्मद अब्दू हैं। इन सब ने एक पैन इस्लामिस्ट थॉट जो था उसको प्रमोट किया। लेकिन ये डिजायर तो थी कि कुछ ऐसा हो कि मुसलमान जो है वो अपनी नेशनल जो लिमिटेशंस हैं उससे आगे पैन इस्लामिस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म को क्रिएट करें। लेकिन ऐसा नहीं हो सका। जैसा हमने पहले पढ़ा था कि फर्स्ट वर्ल्ड वॉर ने लीग ऑफ नेशन, सेकेंड वर्ल्ड वॉर ने यूएनओ को क्रिएट किया, तो शायद इसके लिए भी किसी मिसहैप की रीजन थी, और वो मिसहैप जो है उस वक्त सामने आया when Arabs were defeated by Israeli government in 6 days war in 1967. That proved to be an ignition cause that caused finally the establishment of OIC. मेरे ख्याल में सबको इल्म होना चाहिए कि immediate effect was when an Australian tried to burn the wall of Masjid-e-Aqsa. That was the event that caused the birth of OIC, and immediately the first OIC meeting was called in Rabat, Morocco. On 25th September 1969 in Rabat, capital of Morocco, ये अफ्रीका का मुल्क है, मराकश कहते हैं उर्दू में, leaders of many Islamic states gathered up and established OIC. In first meeting, Pakistan was represented by former Pakistani President Yahya Khan. यहिया खान को हम आमतौर पर तो बड़ा नेगेटिव याद करते हैं, लेकिन OIC के हवाले से यहिया खान की खिदमत वंडरफुल हैं, और ख़ास तौर पर जो OIC का इंडिया को मेंबर नहीं बनने दिया, उसमें यहिया खान की ही असल जो है वो कंट्रीब्यूशंस थी। जिस तरीके से उन्होंने वहां आर्गू किया और इंडिया ने क्लेम किया था एज द मुस्लिम कंट्री ऑफ द लार्जेस्ट नंबर ऑफ पॉपुलेशन, कि पूरे मुस्लिम वर्ल्ड में सबसे ज्यादा जो मुस्लिम पॉपुलेशन है इंडिया में है, तो इंडिया का ये राइट बनता है कि वो OIC का मेंबर बने। लेकिन इट वाज फ्लाउटेड बाय Pakistan and Pakistani representative Yahya Khan. According to its charter, OIC aims to preserve Islamic social and economic values. It tries to promote solidarity among member states. Solidarity among member states, that's the aim. Many times it is violated. We can see the war between Iraq and Iran, the war between Yemen and Saudi Arabia, and ongoing conflict between Iran and we can say Saudi Arabia, Syria and Turkey. They have also conflict. They had entered war in recent past. Increase cooperation in social, economic, cultural, scientific and political areas. For that purpose, you know, there is an organization very much popular in Pakistan, COMSET. COMSET का जो इदारा है वो साइंटिफिक कोऑपरेशन के लिए कायम किया गया है। Flag of OIC that is shown here, its color and its red crescent, and there is emblem of OIC that consists of 3 parts: globe of the crescent and the Kaaba. Largest meeting of OIC is called Islamic Summit, and kings or head of states actually attend that meeting. It is held every 3 years. It has been hosted in Pakistan twice. First, when our Prime Minister was Zulfikar Ali Bhutto. That's the second OIC summit was held in Lahore. And then on Golden Jubilee celebration of independence of Pakistan, that was the Pakistan Day, I mean the 23rd March 1996, when Pakistan hosted OIC summit, and again Prime Minister was Benazir Bhutto. Foreign Minister Conference is held once a year for implementation of ideas given during Islamic Summit. Sometimes special summit are called. Recently, a summit of foreign ministers was called in Pakistan. Secretary General is elected by foreign minister for 5 years. Its current Secretary General, जो यहाँ पे प्रिंट हुआ है ये नहीं है. Current Secretary General is Hussein Brahim Taha. Hussein Brahim Taha. OIC has got 57 members in total, 26 from Asia, Africa, 2 from Europe, Bulgaria and Bosnia, 2 from South America. OIC created the Cairo Declaration of Human Rights in Islam. You can say on the same pattern of UN Universal Declaration of Human Rights. OIC had a dispute with India over matter of Kashmir. 9th meeting at Kuala Lumpur decided to stop Israel from continuing its excavation on Western Wall near Al-Aqsa Mosque. These are its summit. Extraordinary mean which has been, which was not part of plan, but they are extraordinary. As an Golden Jubilee celebration of Pakistan were there. So first extraordinary session, second extraordinary session in Qatar, third extraordinary session in Saudi Arabia, fourth again in Saudi Arabia. So there are extraordinary sessions. Recently, OIC Foreign Minister extraordinary session was called in Pakistan. and that was attended by foreign minister on the situation of Afghanistan and on the issue of recognition of the present government of Afghanistan. OIC Secretary General Hussain Brahim Taha and Pakistani Foreign Minister Shah Mahmood Qureshi agreed to establish the Humanitarian Trust Fund. That is important for your objective. HTF, Humanitarian Trust Fund, was established after a declaration of that summit. And Food Security Council program was initiated to meet the food crisis in Afghanistan. Islamic Development Bank, that is the project of OIC, that promised to provide, fund, and manage Humanitarian Trust Fund. And it was pledged that this fund will start working in March 2022. Different countries offered different amount. For example, Saudi Arabia promised to donate $265 million, and Pakistan promised to donate $30 million for that cause. Conference provided Pakistan a good platform to highlight its own efforts in Afghanistan and the proactive diplomacy that it has been pursuing, which led to Doha talks. Though it could not meet another goal, that was recognition of government, and you can say the states had their own interests, so they didn't make any unanimous decision in this regard. So that's the first organization, OIC, and it's a recent summit which has been in Pakistan. Another is G20 or G10, G7. इसकी हिस्ट्री कुछ इस तरह की है कि पहले G7 ममालिक जो हैं ये हाईली इंडस्ट्रियल जो कंट्रीज हैं उन्होंने एक ग्रुप कायम किया था. Then it was extended to G10 and then it was extended to G20. अभी हम देख रहे हैं पिछले 1-1.5 साल से दोबारा से G10 का स्टेटस आ गया है बजाय G20 के, और उस G10 में जो है वो चाइना को जो है वो बाहर रखने की कोशिश की जा रही है. ये अमेरिका और जो कह लें कि अदर इंडस्ट्रियलिस्ट वर्ल्ड है उसका वर्सेस चाइना एक इशू चल रहा है. G20 was established in 1999 in wake of 1997 Asian financial crisis to bring together major advanced and emerging economies. Purpose was to stabilize the global financial market, bring together systematically important industrialized and developing economies to discuss key issues in global economy. G20 is held annual finance ministers and central bank governors meeting. These meetings suggest measures to promote financial stability of the world and to achieve a sustainable economic growth. Different G20 summits have been held in mostly you can say Canada, Europe and America. There is one that was in South Korea, and South Korea, everyone knows that it's a partner of America. These countries have been, you can say, chair, or they have been the main position for G20 in the past. China too had that position in 2005, but recently it has been reduced to G20 to G10, and when it comes to G10, they try to exclude or isolate China. There are two opponents of G20 in the past. That was Norway and other was Singapore. Norwegian perspective is that even though one of the major contributor of development program in World Bank and UN, it is not a member of the European Union and thus not represented in the G20. Characterize the G20 as a self-appointment group. नॉर्वेजियन पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू ये है कि ये ग्रुप ऐसा है जिसको ना तो यूनाइटेड नेशन ने इनिशिएट की है, ना यूरोपीय यूनियन ने की है, तो ये खुद साख्ता एक फोरम है. जब हमारे पास IMF है, वर्ल्ड बैंक है, तो हमें क्या जरूरत है G20 बनाने की. ये नॉर्वेजियन पर्सपेक्टिव है. सिंगापुर पर्सपेक्टिव इज दैट कि it has reduced established economies rather than emerging economies, and Singapore has initiated another group which is called Global Governance Group of 28 non-G20 countries. यानी जो G20 का नहीं है मेंबर्स, emerging economies हैं, उन्होंने कहा सिंगापुर में एक अलग से ग्रुप है जिसका नाम ग्लोबल गवर्नेंस ग्रुप या GGG है. Next organization is SAARC. SAARC stands for South Asian Association for Regional Cooperation. SAARC is an eco-political organization of 8 South Asian nations. Initially, there were 5, but recently Afghanistan was included, so it is called 8. SAARC was established on 8 December 1985 for friendship and cooperation among themselves and with other developing countries. Don't forget that 1985, 1986, these were the years when Pakistan and India, they were on very, you can say, hot exchange, and there was active diplomatic, क्या कहते हैं, behind the channel diplomatic efforts, and these diplomatic efforts were actually to stop the war between India and Pakistan. Bangladeshi Prime Minister Ziaur Rahman, who is actually husband of another Prime Minister, Begum Khalda Zia, he took that initiative, and SAARC was established in Dhaka. SAARC is the largest regional organization. Its framework for regional cooperation was made by late President of Bangladesh, Ziaur Rahman. Founding members are India, Pakistan, Bangladesh, Nepal, Maldives, Bhutan, and Sri Lanka. Recently, Afghanistan has been added to the list. Joined SAARC in 2007. These are observers. Observers are actually invited in Saarc Summit, and some are invited on the basis of forum like OIC has been invited, European Union has been invited, and others, the countries which have some concern, we can say Australia, China, Iran, South Korea, USA, etc. SAARC intends to cooperate in agriculture and biotechnology, trade and finance, education, information, communication and media, science and technology, energy and environment, tourism and social development, culture, people to people contact. Most important are SAF game, I think. SAARC के कई agreement हुए. Agreement for establishment of SAARC Arbitration Council, अपने झगड़ों को निपटाने के लिए यूएनओ के पास जाने के लिए खुद एक सार्क आर्बिट्रेशन काउंसिल कायम की गई। एग्रीमेंट ऑन अवॉइडेंस ऑफ डबल टैक्सेशन, एग्रीमेंट ऑन कस्टम मैटर्स, चार्टर ऑफ एसडीएफ, सार्क फूड बैंक, agreement on South Asian Free Trade Area, SEFTA, that is a thought very important project of SAARC organization for trade between the member countries. But it is often, you can say, remain a dream because of the tension between India and Pakistan. And Pakistan mostly opposes free trade between India and Pakistan for the issue of Kashmir. Agreement on the establishment of South Asian Regional Standards Organization, and agreement on avoidance of double taxation. SEFTA, SAARC. As I mentioned, most important was SAARC game, which are called SAF games. आज के ज़माने में शायद जो सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट ऑर्गेनाइजेशन है वो SCO है, which means the Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Initially, it was called Shanghai 5, then it was called Shanghai 5 Plus, and these days it is called Shanghai Cooperation Organization. Its headquarters is Beijing, China, and official language Chinese and Russian. English is not official language of SCO. Its present secretary is Rashid Olminov. That's a Eurasian political economy and military organization, which was founded in 2001 in Shanghai by the leaders of China, Kazakhstan, Kyrgyzstan, Russia, Tajikistan, and Uzbekistan. So its purpose is strengthening mutual trust and good neighborliness and friendliness, developing effective cooperation in political affairs, economy and trade, science and technology, culture, education, energy, working together to maintain regional peace, security, and stability, promoting the creation of a new international political economic order, featuring democracy, justice, and rationality. SCO has established relations with United Nations, where it is an observer in the General Assembly. यानी कि SCO ने General Assembly में एक observer की सीट हासिल की है. यूरोपियन यूनियन में इसने observer की सीट हासिल की है, and it is part of association of ASEAN, Southeast Asian nations, Commonwealth of Independent States, and organization of OIC. In all these organizations, SCO has got a status of observer. SCO, Shanghai Cooperation Organization, covered wide-ranging areas such as security, economy, transportation. And for transportation, there is a project that tries to link, you can say, Tajikistan and Pakistan, culture, disaster relief, and law enforcement. SCO focuses on the fight against terrorism, separatism, extremism. These are agendas of Russia and China. Bilateral and multilateral joint anti-terrorism,